Okay, yeah. So this model is important. These models here, the classic disc, were made by Revell, and here's the brochure that came with it. I've had it for about 30 years, and like I said, I've been studying this since I was 15. I'm 63 years old now, and got quite a bit of information. And this guy Bob Lazar, probably heard of him. He used to work at Area 51, and he claims to have reverse engineered a portion of that saucer. And he worked on the propulsion system, and it's kind of like pretty much accepted. It's how it works now. You can see this drawing. You see the three. There's like three barrels there. Those are magnetic resonators of some kind. So apparently, there's always like a triangle with a power source in the center, and this propulsion system um, bends space. And and like I said, so he explains all this, and he's still around, and he's older now. Back then, he was in his late 20s, I think. He was one of those savant engineers. The government hired him because to do that, and then the whole thing was at Area 51. The reason this is relevant is, Area 51 is where they developed SR-51, all these stealth bombers, all this top secret, stealth planes and stuff, and and they had a lot of engineers there and stuff. So back when I was a kid, these things were being developed, and the Revell Model Company, they were very astute, and they would actually send spies in there and get information or talk to the engineers, and they would put out these models like all the time. They put out these. I started a long time ago because model airplanes used to be a big thing among kids. Long before the internet or anything existed, we used to build models. That's what we used to do. I built car models, airplane models, ship models. This is back in the '60s, and so Revell would come up with these models of these top secret planes, and they put them out sometimes 4 or 5 years before the plane actually became public. And the thing was, they were always dead accurate, and all the model makers knew it, and all the plane buffs, they would rush out and buy the models right away, because when the SR-51 came out, the Blackbird thing, one of the first Blackbirds, it was pretty awesome, the spy planes and all that, and they were pretty accurate. And later on, when the real deal came out, they were right, they were accurate. And so what happened was, about 30 years ago, this thing came out. So me being a UFO buff, or knowing a lot about that at the time, even though I didn't even really believe in it yet, and I ran out and bought that model, and I've had it ever since. And a lot of people, that model was a big seller. But what I'm trying to say is, they were right about every single one they put out before that, every single model. Why wouldn't this one be right? Common sense tells you that they had this one right. And apparently, Bob Lazar claims there was like 7 or 9 of these discs. They were all a little different, but all very similar also. And some of them were, 1 or 2 of them were actually functional. And I don't know if they were figured out how to actually fly them. I think they did in the end. But you watch that movie, The 4th of July. It's based on, a lot of these sci-fi movies are based on a lot of truth, or a lot of history, or top secret records, or stories given out by guys like Bob Lazar. And you look at the scenes in 4th of July when they're looking at when they're down below grade at Area 51, and they have that spaceship. That's based on what I'm telling you right now. This stuff. And I doubt very much it's just like that movie at all. See, they dramatize it. They make it pretty nuts. I don't think the creatures ever looked like those creatures. Those crazy-looking creatures. But we'll get into alien types and all that later. But anyway, that's how that evolved, and that's why Revell was important, I think, in shaping the course of alien UFOlogy, let's call it. Anyway, so we're at 4 minutes, and I got a few more minutes here. So we'll progress on to the evolution of UFO sightings and all that, through the 50s and 60s, there was all these massive sightings, UFOs over the Capitol. I mean, these are very well documented sightings. Washington was getting pretty paranoid. When Eisenhower was president and Nixon was his vice president, he wanted when he first got into office, he wanted to find out what was going on at Area 51. They didn't want him to come down there, and because they keep this from the presidents. I mean, it seems like only certain presidents ever really know. And I mean, just an example is like Bush knew everything. He was the head of the CIA. Bush and the Bushes know everything, but I don't think Clinton knew anything, and neither did Kennedy. And certain presidents, they just entrust with the information. And the latest theory, this is really nuts. I just heard, Linda Moulton Howe is a big investigative reporter. Used to be on, CNN or one of those big stations. She's older now, but she's pretty legit. And she says that they've uncovered top secret files through the Freedom of Information Act or whatever. After 30 years, they're put out there that kind of show like the smoking gun that show that Kennedy was actually assassinated because he was going to leak out information about the alien situation. I mean, you can find this. You can probably find that Linda Moulton Howe video on YouTube where she's talking about this stuff. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's what's out there now. Just talking about presidents and stuff. But back to Eisenhower and Nixon, he wanted to get in there, and this is also available information that you can find it pretty easy, where he actually went over there to Area 51 with the military and said he was going to blow the place down if they didn't tell him what's going on there. Well, Eisenhower eventually, he became very knowledgeable about the aliens and their presidents and all this, and apparently he actually made some kind of deal with them or something. And there's this current, I think there's this guy, Lieutenant Corso, and you'll find his videos on YouTube, and he's one of the ones that's pretty credible. He was Nixon or Eisenhower had appointed him in charge of all this stuff, had to do with the UFOs and stuff, and right before I think he did die eventually, but what happens is a lot of these old guys that were involved in this stuff, these military guys, before they die, they're sworn to secrecy, for 30 years or something. And then when they get old and they're about to die or they have cancer, they want to spill the beans, and they do, They either spill the beans or their wives do or something. And then you get some incredible information, which is what's been happening lately in the last 10, 15 years. These guys have been spilling the beans because they're all dying. So that's why we've got kind of a boom of information now. Along with everyone who's legit, there's, like I say, there's probably 90 others who aren't, They were just trying to make, get famous and make money and make money on videos on YouTube. Myself, I could care less. I mean, I'm retired. I'm a retired architect. I don't do this for money. I can't make a dime off this. I'll be lucky to get, 10,000 views on this, or 5,000, But anyway, I just want to put this out there because I feel like I have a lot of congregate, accumulated information that's valuable as a whole, and as a normal person, not a crazy person. By the way, over 50% of the planet believes in aliens, and a lot of them are third world people, not because they have a lot of information, but because it's in their folklore, and because they either seen them or it's in their folklore. Whereas the Americans, we've been taught to think people that believe in that are nuts. I have very smart friends, very high IQ friends, who absolutely don't believe in it. And I'm going to get into why in the next video here. They don't believe in it, and I can put all kinds of holes in their thought process. Guys with IQs of 140, I have an IQ of 146, but I have a lot of common sense. But these other guys are smarter than I am, and they can't see through the whatever. They can't see the light on this. But anyway, for right now, that's it.